So, this is my brother Logan. He's 18 years old, and we're going to be going over Tourette's syndrome, which he's already familiar with. It's already really difficult for children, especially school-age and adolescents, to deal with, in general, but especially in the classroom with a bunch of other kids that don't know what's going on, don't know what to do about it, and they kind of think, oh, that's the weird kid that does all this crazy stuff out of nowhere. And we're going to talk about how other children can make the class experience for this kid, more inclusive, make it a better environment for them, the child with this disorder. So Tourette's is a type of tic disorder. There's 3 different kinds of tic disorders, but Tourette's is one of them. It's characterized by at least 2 motor tics and 1 vocal tic over the course of at least a year. So the motor tics can be their involuntary movements, the head, the arms, whatever, and vocal tics, blurting of words just randomly, usually curse words, but it doesn't have to be, like a word. They can, clear their throat and stuff like that, just, incessantly. Everything's triggered by stress. It makes it a lot worse for the kid. So you want to make their environment as stress-free as possible. So I printed out this brochure kind of thing, pamphlet, whatever you want to call it, about tics in the classroom. And it's kind of like a guide, a bullet point guide for children to follow, and educators can go by it as well. So when you have a kid that has, tics in the classroom and everything like that, it can be kind of distracting, especially the kids don't know what's going on, what's causing it. They're totally involuntary, like I said. They don't know what causes them. It could be genetic, and they have found genetic ties to that. So you want to teach the kids, the other classmates in the room, just ignore the tic, when it's happening, and things like that. Don't ostracize them. Include them in activities. Play with them. Talk to them. Socialize with them. Don't isolate them just because they're different, they're weird. So you also want to promote general tolerance and compassion for differences among all of your students in the classroom, because they may not see kids like these all the time, but Tourette's is starting to become more common. There's over 200,000 cases a year in the United States, so it's something that they might start to see. So we went over the tics and how you recognize them, and how to interact with them. Just treat them like any normal person. Just because they have a tic does not mean that you shouldn't mess with them, interact with them, socialize. Just treat them like a normal kid. So could you reiterate what Tourette's is?
A tic disorder that is characterized by usually 2 motor tics or 1 vocal tic over the course of a year.
Okay. And can you explain or give examples of motor tics or vocal tics?
Blinking, something like that. Snapping a head back. For a vocal tic, you could be like clearing a throat or just cuss out of nowhere.
Okay. And how would you, if there were another kid in your class with Tourette's, how would you interact with them? Or how would you like kids to interact with you?
Treat them like any other kid, honestly. Don't isolate them. Include them in activities. Yeah. What
would you do while they were doing a tic?
Just ignore it. Just keep your nose in your own business, do your own thing.
Alrighty. So, yeah, Tourette's, it's really hard to deal with for the kid and for the whole family, and it makes school really difficult on them, getting schoolwork done and things like that. But yeah, I think there just needs to be some more education in the classroom, especially if you have a child with it in there, so that they know what to expect and they're not really caught off guard and weirded out by it.